Before you book a venue, before you choose a date, before you book an amazing DJ like Chad Ellis here that we have today.
Yeah, there we go.
Before you do anything, you actually do need a real wedding budget. So today we're going to show you how to actually build one. We do have a professional wedding planner and florist, Angel Phillips with Roots and Wings Weddings, and Chad Ellis with Ellis Entertainment here today. These guys are the real deal. They've been doing this for many, many years. And Angel has been a florist for over 20 years. She's been a planner for over 10 years. And Chad, how long have you been DJing, man?
We started our first one in 2011, so it's been quite some time. What's the math on that? We're into 25, so
about
what's
14
years?
Yeah. Might as well just say 15.
We'll pull 15. Yeah.
That's amazing.
But it's a long time.
But you're an athlete, though.
Yes,
And
we
you're
all
a coach
were at
now.
one time, right? Yeah, I do coach now.
Okay.
Played in college, or played in high school, played in college, did all that stuff, and just fell into the DJ world later, just almost by accident, and it just kind of started rolling. Somebody finally gave me a little bit of money one day.
Yeah.
And I mean, just a little bit, and I was like, wait a second, I just played music.
Right.
Had a great time, and I just got paid. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I just took it, because I worked a regular 9-to-5 job, family and all that stuff. So I had a regular job. So then when the DJ thing started rolling a little bit, and I would just take whatever money I made, and I finally bought, like, my first speakers were like $350 for a pair.
Oh, wow.
They lasted about 3 gigs. It was crazy. But
that's longer than I would think.
Yeah, brother. Hey, it was nuts. But it's all evolved for a long time, and we've been blessed for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I love your setup, man. But every time I'm videoing and you're DJing, I'm like, let's go. I think I've only videoed when you were DJing on 2 weddings.
Yes.
But your lighting is incredible. And I think the first time y'all used those new lights was at
we call them
Tabor's.
Hollywood lights.
The Hollywood lights.
Yes,
He did. He
it was
loved them.
Tabor's.
I love
Yes.
them.
I remember them.
I remember that.
Incredible.
They look good that night, for sure.
So good. And the TV with your DJ booth.
Yeah.
I mean, the lighting and everything is just pristine. And then when you get your fist pumping up in the air, that's when you know the get down's getting real.
It's cringy on me, man. I can't see it. I can't see it. When I see videos, I'm like, oh, God, oh, no, that's awful. I can't believe I look that way. And if I listen back at this, I can't believe I'm going to sound the way I'm going to sound. I'm sorry, bro.
No, it's so great. Well, maybe you clicked on this video because we do have it titled How to Create a Wedding Budget, and without losing your mind, too, with just how to do it in a very good way that's like, hey, let's plan this out. Whether you have a 6-month engagement, 8th month, 10-month, maybe you have a full year. We're going to talk about some numbers today. So with these two wonderful individuals, we're all wedding vendors, and so we have our prices that we charge for what we do, DJ, video, planning, florist, whatever it may be. And there's a reason, of course, why it is these numbers. Before we get into how to actually create a budget, I do want to ask both of y'all a question. When you set your prices, now, you've been doing this for a long time, a few decades, over a decade, whatever it may be, and you've set your price for a reason. Some people say, if you DJ'd a prom, it might have been, $500, and now that it's a wedding, it's $1,000. Now, of course, those are cheaper prices, but like they say, it's the stereotypical because you're a wedding vendor, you've marked your price up. What would you say to that? Do you think that's true that wedding vendors have marked up themselves just because it's a wedding day, or do you think that's false?
I think that's false. I do my day.
Right.
It costs me the same either way.
I can say it is true, and I'll tell you why I think it's true for me.
Okay.
I'll give you an example this past weekend.
Okay.
If I'm going to do a corporate Christmas party.
And you did 4 events this past weekend,
We did.
right?
My company did. Yeah, we did 4
I want people to hear that. 4 events in one weekend.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was a lot. So I'm running on fumes at this point. I drank a big cup of coffee on the way in there. But when we do a corporate Christmas party, we can come in. We don't have to be there 3 hours early. We don't have a massive timeline that we have to follow. We don't have a lot of the stress that comes along that every little thing has to be perfect. We're background music. We may uplight the place. We may do that. So that may be a price. But when it comes to a wedding, when every move I make has to be perfect that day, the preparation that goes into that, the equipment, I can't have equipment go bad that day.
Right.
Like, and when electronics are going to fail, they only fail when you're using them.
Right.
So there are chances when you do a live event, I'm going to call it live event there, that things can happen.
Totally.
But it's just stress. That's why you see a lot of gray in my beard right here. Hey, because of stress.
No, man, you look good.
But it's not simply because it's a wedding, but there's just so much more that goes into a wedding. It's not necessarily, hey, it's a wedding. let's mark it up. Let's
Yes.
hit them where it hurts right here. No, that's not that.
Right.
It's my effort is huge.
Yes.
The pressure is huge. Everything that goes into it. Until we get into that dancing part and we get to the end of the night when everybody's kind of let their guard down, it is a big deal.
Absolutely.
So that's why the price ends up being what the price is
100%.
for just for those reasons only.
But
So
as a coordinator and a florist, it's going to cost me the same, and the stress is the same whether I'm at a hospital doing an event all day or if I'm doing flowers.
Sure.
So I just don't market my price because it's a wedding. It's the same all the way around.
well, that makes no sense.
I mean, because the
yeah.
stress,
You're going a lot longer
the stress
than I
is
am.
exactly.
Sure,
So
sure.
you could look at it either way. It just really depends on the vendor.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would say for video too, DJ and video, it's similar. Like it is going to be a higher price for me too, as for a wedding day because of that pressure. Like you said, it's game day pressure. One thing you said to me one time, Chad, because you do have a team of DJs and you have a team of people that help you with
do.
your florals, and with forming a team for a wedding day, you have to choose people that are, what'd you say, like ready for the game, like game player, like you said you like hiring athletes because
Athletes.
they know the pressure of the game.
And everybody that has worked with us, I'm pretty sure every single person that has worked with us is a former athlete, is a lot of them played in college, a lot of them, I say a lot of them, we don't have 6, 7 guys, whatever. But they either played in college or played in high school, did some things. And the reason why is because when we go into a place, when we go into a venue, it's game day.
Yeah.
And you're prepared and you're preparing all week for game day. And they understand that when the lights come on, it's time to go.
Right.
Something goes wrong, we got to fix it. It's all boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
There's no room for error, just like in a game, just like in any sport. You know, if you're going to be successful, you have to look at it that way. So that's the way I have chosen to do things that I do. I'm not sure if it's right. I'm not sure if it's wrong. It just happened to work for me the right way.
I love it,
right
man.
now, so.
And I've had people work with me that they worked a few gigs and they said, I don't know that I want to do this because the pressure's so big.
Right.
Like there's a lot more pressure there. And so for you guys listening, we want to talk about budgets. And we wanted to preface all that to say, as wedding vendors, we want to serve you guys the best. So sometimes when you see a price that's $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for one day, just know that it's not just that day. It's days way before, especially florals and whatnot. Sometimes DJ, we're coming in doing our thing that day, but we have to prep beforehand. Sure. We had to prep many years for our craft and getting the music and all this stuff. For video world photographers, you make sure they have dual card slots, good enough camera gear that it's not just a beginner camera gear, so it's not going to flop out on you. You want to make sure you have duplicates of your SD cards so you're backing up stuff. There's so many things that go into play. Venues. I mean, these venues have to be extra clean. I mean, some of them don't do the best job, but some of them do a really great job. But you got to make sure you have a good staff, and for all these things that go into, like, why is this venue $15,000? Well, there's a lot of upkeep. So we're not here to defend the price, but we're just trying to get you to understand that there's a lot that goes into our prices. Sure. All right, so let's talk about how much weddings cost. And we're just going to say in Alabama. Maybe you're watching this and you're in Tennessee, New York, California, whatever. Prices are going to be a little different state to state. But in the Southeast, we're just going to lay it out there. No one likes to talk about numbers because people it gets a little touchy. People start getting like judgmental, right? Like, oh my gosh, you spent $50,000 on your daughter's wedding, and then and then between siblings, the comparison game, especially between like bridesmaids, like the bride gets married and then a bridesmaids wants to get married, and it's almost they want to outdo one another. Sometimes it's like, okay, they got the cold sparklers, I'm going to do 6 cold sparklers, Right. It gets in this comparison game, and I just encourage all of us just to take a step back and say, let's not compare. And also, when we share these numbers, some of it can be subjective. Some of it is objective. A lot of this is opinions and subjective and ebb and flow. And also, you don't have to spend any of this money. We'll go ahead and feel free to comment any questions you have along the way as well on YouTube if you're watching. But I will start with this because it's a great point. I already hear it. People already talk about it all the time. I don't know that a $3,000 DJ is needed. I don't know that a $4,000 videographer is needed. Well, I don't think anything of this whole day is needed. As a matter of fact, you could have eloped. You could have gone to the courthouse. Everything. I mean, you don't have to have Oreos in your house. But guess what? At night, gets a little late, get some Oreos and milk and have a little snack at night. Like, none of this is needed, by the way. So I already hear those objections. How in the world would you ever need a a $2,500 dress versus a $1,000 dress. There's beauty and there's excitement and there's celebration in a wedding day. So there's no judgment. There's no judgment. Sure. If you want to spend a lot of money on whatever you want to prioritize, do it.
If you don't want to spend a lot of money, that's okay too.
Come on, Angel.
It's a true story.
It's a true story.
You talked about the comparison of how much things can be and comparing, but I think people also get judged because they don't spend as much money.
That's true.
And it's okay. Either way you go, it's your day, it's your money. Do what makes you happy. That's what the day's about, what makes you happy.
Absolutely.
And so it can go either way. People are just judgmental.
They are.
So you just do what makes you happy. It's your day.
They are. That's good, Angel. Before we press record, I did a little bit of research on the numbers, and I actually, days before, I sent it to Angel since she's an actual planner, and was like, hey, what do you think about these numbers? She goes, Carson, these numbers are off.
I laughed out loud. I did.
She said, "This is crazy."
Yeah, no, that's not true story.
There's a big difference
that's
between.
Not true story.
So there's numbers before COVID and there's numbers after COVID.
Big difference.
Just and we know that from going to the grocery store, right? Sure. So here are the numbers. Well, I'll open it up with a personal story. We spent $15,000 on our wedding 4 years ago. We got married at Applewood Farms on a Friday evening. We kind of did some DIY stuff with decor and florals. If you knew of our flowers, I don't know flowers. I know it makes everything look pretty, so I respect great flowers and you do great florals. We didn't spend a lot of money on florals, and we had a great family friend who did a great job. But it was like, I don't even know flowers, so I'm not even going to try to say what kind of flowers. It was like baby breath and something else, right? It's like
you got the baby's breath.
Well, that's the point. I think this is the point of the whole conversation here. Is
yes.
You said I don't necessarily know flowers. My wife doesn't necessarily know flowers. So that wasn't necessarily a point for you. And that's why you were able to do the DIY stuff. So that's the whole point, I think, of this whole conversation.
Absolutely.
Here,
yes.
For you guys, that wasn't
their day.
Where you wanted to focus on.
Exactly.
Sure.
Absolutely. And we had some live musicians for ceremony, which I'm a musician. I love music. So we had violin, cello, piano, acoustic, and 3 singers. And I wanted it to be a worship service. We had it in a traditional sanctuary, and then we had the reception at Applewood. And we had some other rented out lights and production and stuff. Buddy that I know who DJ'd for us did a great job there. But we prioritized certain things over others, and we spent $15,000. Now I don't have an exact breakdown of everything, but I know the venue was I think it was $4,000 or $5,000, and then everything else kind of fit. That was our big thing. That was the big thing, and then catering was good, but we did Taco Mama. And it was very affordable, and it tasted great. We loved it. And, and I love Amy with Catering 101. She does a great job. Definitely recommend her. But anyway, okay, let's get into the actual numbers here. We're going to break it into budget weddings, mid-tier weddings, and then like luxury weddings. We're not going to spend a ton of time on luxury weddings because honestly, sky's the limit with that. There's no cap on that. This is like celebrities and everything. They can spend $500,000 or $1 million easily, which is crazy to think about, or $250,000, whatever it may be. We're not going to be talking about those weddings today. We're going to mainly talk about your commoner. Why would you even watch a video about budgeting if you have no limit on your budget? Okay, so budget weddings, the actual low budget weddings, like I want to do it myself kind of things, $10,000 to $25,000.
What
do you think about that?
It's a true story. Carson was like, the first time he sent me and I texted him back, I was like, Carson, baby, that's not, no.
Yeah, I thought it was like $5,000 to $15,000, but she's like, no, it's like $10,000 to $25,000 of cheaper in venues. In this category, venues are $2,000 to $5,000. Catering is like $15,000 to $25,000 per person. Photography is $1,000 to $2,000. Videographies could be about the same, $800 to $1,500. DJ band is about $600 to $1,200. Which you wouldn't get a band for that, but you might get a DJ for that. Coordinator, planner, $800 to $1,500. Flowers, $800 to $1,500. Dress and attire, $500 to $1,500. Cake, $200 to $500. Decor and rentals, $300 to $1,000, and miscellaneous just $300 to $800. And that's your budget, man.
And that's quick.
Very quick.
Even if you're going cheap with things.
It does.
That's almost mind blowing to me.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. And when people call and say they have a budget of that, and I'll say, well, how many guests? Well, 250. Well, baby, you just spent your budget on catering and your venue. I mean,
what's an average cost of plate? Like
average right
basic,
now.
Like what are we doing? Like let's just go. What we're gonna call it? Basic wedding food. Was it
right?
Like chicken fingers.
25 a plate.
25 a plate.
It is.
So whenever you go make yourself, well, you don't eat at weddings. Actually, he doesn't eat at
I
weddings.
don't either.
So
no, but it's a,
you don't
I mean,
either.
I don't eat wedding
definitely
at all.
Listen,
I'll
you
think too much
should.
to-go plate.
That's it. Angel knows. I turn around. Here's that to-go plate. Now, Chad, the guy that's with me,
he
all
knows
the
what he
time,
wants.
Chad eats, whatever. He goes and gets into whatever. But
Chad's eating and watching the football game.
oh yeah. Oh, God, that's so great. But yeah, that's it. And he's running the lights. He's he's doing what I need him
He's
to
so
do.
great.
But for me, I just feel like I'm there to work, so that's why I don't eat. But
Most
regardless, I don't want to get
caterers-
off on that. But
20 to 25 for buffet style is what you're running for catering. 20 to 25 a plate. I mean, you can get even like Taco Mama, like you had right now. They're averaging between 16 and 20 a plate. There's another caterer about 5 years ago. They were at $10 a plate.
family of four. When we go to a fast food restaurant to eat, it is $50.
Exactly.
And I got kids that don't even eat much.
Yes.
I'm very fortunate that they don't eat much, but it's $50. So I can't even. This is kind of news to me. I had no idea it was that
$15
crazy.
a plate is. They're not going to come in and do a pretty setup. They're not going to have the pretty plates. They're not going to have drink dispensers for your drinks. They're going to be pouring tea out of a Milo's gallon, which as a planner and a decorator, I'm like, we're not doing this. I'm going to find some decanters. I mean, we're not pouring out of a Milo's. And
I like some Milo sweet tea.
I do too. I'm okay with it being Milo tea. I'm not okay with us pouring out of the gallons into a solo cup. That's not happening.
Right.
And so, I mean, and when you tell a bride or a couple the price for food, and that's what they're like, 25 a person, and I'm like, baby, you go to Chick-fil-A and spend $20 a person, easy.
You can.
And so, catering gets you.
What I think it looks like when I think this is probably going to end up helping people with is if you don't immediately get you a planner, somebody with some know-how, you're listening to your mom or your grandma
Come
that
on,
got
Chad.
married 30 or 40 years ago or whatever.
He's preaching.
And this is how we did it, and that's what we did. And it costs this. I hate it. I'm now 45, which I probably shouldn't say that on camera, but I'm 45. The first car that I was bought for me was $25,000. It was a brand new car. You can't buy a used car for $25,000.
Mm-hmm.
It was a nice car. It's a cool car, But nothing's the same.
No.
It's not going to be. You can't expect this to be. And it's just, I don't like it. I'm older. I'm set in my ways. I'm like, this is crazy. I remember when this used to cost this. There's no way I'm paying this much for it. So I get the reluctance there. But the reality is different than what you think it is. There's a reality here. It's going to cost this. I understand you bought the same thing 30 years ago, but it ain't the same.
It's not the same. It's not even 5 years ago. It's the same.
Right.
Nothing's the same.
Yeah, it moved quick.
It did. It really did.
And it goes back to the needs thing. Oh, well, I don't know if I need that. Like we knew we needed to feed the people. We invited 300 people to our wedding,
Brother,
4 years ago, and it was like packed out the sanctuaries, and then we went outside at Applewood. The food was inside, but anyway, and we were like, how are we gonna feed 300 people? God, like, Jesus, we need a miracle. But it was venue and then catering for our costs. Now that's a big portion of a lot of people is the venue and catering. Now a lot of people are not inviting 300 people. They're maybe inviting 200, 250, 150.
Average right now is 150 to 220. That's very average.
I would say out of the weddings we play, 85, 90%, 150. That number is just, it may get 130, 170, but that just stays around it.
Yeah.
To me, I'm talking about I'm just sitting here talking, but
Come on
to
now.
me,
Yeah.
when you do, now I don't know if this is the case with you guys, but when you get on up into 250, 300, those weren't necessarily your guests. That may have been Mama's guests,
Right.
Daddy's
talked about
guests.
that
Now, I don't
earlier.
know.
I mean,
but
we knew a
you
lot of
start-
people. We were come
Sure,
on,
well,
friends.
Sure, yeah. Well, and
We
sure.
were fresh out of college,
and you
we're
were
just
young,
like
and you got a lot when you're young.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you get on up into 28, 29, your circle's much smaller.
Yeah.
You can do that
That's true.
smaller wedding and be cool with it, But there are several that I've seen and heard comments from brides, groomsmen, like this is my mama's wedding, And I'm like, oh, that hurts, Like you
Yeah.
could tell, like we could have done it smaller. It was cool, but everybody that works with my dad or for my dad is here. I got aunts and uncles. I got people I haven't seen in years. You know, so when you're budgeting, you're feeding those people $25 a plate.
Yeah, come on, y'all heard that.
But also, we actually talked about this in the earlier video. When you have mom and dad who are actually the ones paying for it, and we talked about that earlier also, it's not always just the bride's mom anymore. Sometimes it's the groom's parents, the mom's parents, and the couple. It takes a village. We talked about that earlier. But if the bride's parents are 100% paying for the wedding, sometimes that mom is like, hey, I know you're not that close to my friend, but she's important to me, and I am spending $50,000 on your wedding, and I want her here.
There you go.
And so it's a fine line, and it's a hard fine line to figure out.
Every single dynamic.
Yeah,
everything.
Every single. It is.
It's different. It's wild, and that's right. You know, for a long time when we talked about this a minute ago, when I said something about we're not doing it like we did 30 years ago. Your mom's helping you. You're doing this, and that's the way we did it. What's the book on that? You know, there was a book for a long time. That book is no longer applicable.
It's not.
I don't even know what you're talking
like
about.
The etiquette, like the groom's parents pay for this and the bride's parents pay for that, and it's this and this. I have very few couples who actually go by that. There's so many family dynamics these days, like so many divorced parents, so many grandparents raising, so many just in general, the family is not the same that it was even 20 years ago. And there is so many different hands in planning the wedding and paying for the wedding. And we talked earlier, I'm seeing a lot now where the bride's mom will go, I'm giving you $25,000. What you go over that is between you and your fiance. And if you guys can handle, say the wedding's $50,000, y'all can handle the other $25,000, great. If his family wants to pitch in, that's good. But this is what we have, and you have this to make it happen. Anything else is on you, his parents, or however you want to do it. I'm seeing a lot of that right now.
I don't think that's a bad way to do it.
Yeah,
it's really not.
But I mean,
take it away.
In this world, budgets are meant to be broken, though. I'm telling you, hey,
I know very few.
I've ever heard, and you probably have never. I know I don't hear very much about it, but there probably aren't very many that come in under it or at it.
I don't think I've ever had anyone go, "Oh, we were $1,000 under budget." No, it doesn't happen.
Well, just talking that number right there. I'm in the world. I'm in the business. I had no idea.
This is low budget, by the way. This is low
I
budget.
know.
Okay. Moving on. Characteristics of those, by the way, is DIY projects, shorter guest list, less decor, maybe weekday wedding, simple venues. Obviously, we know some venues give discounts during Friday or Sunday, or maybe just Monday through Thursday. Not all vendors. I know florists don't, because your expenses of your florals are about the same either time, but maybe other vendors will give you discounts during weekdays.
Catering, same. It's hard for them to give a discount.
Because they have a set price of...
it's the foods cost what it costs. It doesn't matter what day of the week. Floral's the same.
Yeah, if you're us, if you do what we do, especially on the DJ side, a Friday or Sunday, they're not as popular. So you can afford to do it because you're probably going to work on Saturday and make money anyway. So it becomes a bonus for Friday and Sunday.
Yes.
And I'm, monetary reasons, sure, but I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of those Friday weddings because you do it, and then all of a sudden you wake up on Saturday morning and you still got 2 days on your weekend.
A lot
of times on those Saturday weddings, you get up on Sunday, you go to church, you do the things that you do on Sunday, and then Monday's coming back again.
Right.
But I like the Fridays just for that. You wake up on Saturday, like, oh wait, I still got 2 days.
You got 2 days. You have a day off.
And then for us, it's I'm going to another wedding, hopefully.
Right.
But if not, still got 2 days. I got an extra day. I got a whole day with my family.
Absolutely.
Or, to do whatever instead of Saturday. So you guys listening. Friday and Sunday are
Ellis
nice.
Entertainment, y'all. Book them on Fridays.
But can I just highlight on one thing you just said with your families?
Yeah.
We talked earlier about what's a wedding, you jack your prices up. And we talked about that's not really a true story. It's just more stress. But I don't think that, and we chose this life. Every one of us sitting here chose this life. But I don't think that people realize the sacrifices that we have on the weekends that we don't spend with family and friends that we're spending making their best day happen.
Sure.
And so I don't think people realize that, hey, this is a sacrifice for us too.
Oh, it is. It's big.
But we chose it, and I love it, and I don't want to do anything else. I love what I do, as y'all. Yeah. But that is something, I don't think people think about.
It is, and our families deal with it. You have kids yet?
No, just cats.
Okay.
2 cats.
The cats
Beautiful
miss
cats.
you too.
Hey,
The cats miss you too.
he bought a cat from one of our previous brides.
Yes, that's very true.
He did.
Ragdoll.
He
A
ragdoll.
ragdoll.
You got
Yes.
that connection. That's
It's
neat.
just insane. And I didn't. Anyway, okay, keep going.
Oh, I don't even know what I'm saying now. So.
But it's just
Kids.
so
You get,
Oh,
sacrificing,
when
getting
you
away
do,
from
you sacrifice that. In my world, my kids, I've got a sophomore in high school and one that's in 7th grade, and they play ball, do things. I coach their teams. So
Awesome,
you know how many Saturdays once again, we chose this life.
We
We
did.
did.
We
Didn't
did.
anybody hold a gun to my head and say,
No.
"Hey, you got to play music at a wedding,
That's
brother"?
right.
I mean, so
Gotta go play this cha-cha slide one more time.
we chose it. We chose this life. But how many times I left tournaments and to go do this, and I have many times, Chad's got his football game over here. I've had my team's baseball game on over here watching this, big, just that's gut wrenching, from time to time,
Sometimes it is.
but
Yeah.
it's, as a man, you got to do what you got to do to feed your family, whatever. And this is the path that I have somehow gone down. So
Right.
this is what I do, but it is a sacrifice big time.
It is.
But I mean,
A fun
I
sacrifice.
get to go play music and,
That's right.
and dance with
Yeah,
people.
man,
I mean,
isn't
come
that
on.
fun?
How many times I pinch myself going, "Are you kidding me?" In the middle of weddings, I'll hit Chad. I'm like, "Are you kidding me, man? Like we get to do this, and we paid for it.
Exactly.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, here nor
So
there.
good,
But
Chad.
And I feel that way when my bride's walking down the aisle. The past 12 months,
Sure.
I have planned for this, and now it's happening. This
Mm-hmm.
is, and my girls, I don't know because I can't see my face, but they say I get this look on my face every
Angel.
time. when
Angel,
my
I have
brides-
seen tears on
and
tears.
It's we worked this
Sure.
hard for this, and I got to be a part of that.
Sure.
And so it's worth the sacrifice
Oh,
because
it's-
I got to be a part of that. I still have brides and grooms call me, "Hey, we're having a baby. Hey, this, hey, that." So they become part of who we are.
Sure.
They do.
Oh, that is-
they just do.
That is a great point, and I'm sure you feel this way as well.
Yes.
You do put so much into it, and I've often felt. I'm glad you said this. Now I've seen Angel. I'm serious. I've seen tears in her eyes.
yeah.
Over and over and over, because I'm always looking at her for
Yes.
song changes,
Yeah, the cues,
transitions,
yeah.
whatever. So I see her, and she does have that look. That's not a made up thing. I've seen it, but I'm glad we talked about this right here, because I've always felt like maybe I feel like I'm a bigger part of their day than I really am, because I put so much, either following on social media, whether they know it or not. I see their lives and I go on, I'm like, man, I played their wedding. Man, I played their wedding,
Yes.
having babies. I'm like, God, that's awesome,
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel so like a kinship to them.
Yes.
Yes.
And maybe that is a little part of why we've been a little successful, is because I feel that it's more than just walking in, mash and play, or doing whatever, because everything's different. If you put that feeling into it, they mean something to you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
and that's
And I feel
the
about that.
same way.
Everybody in this room,
Yes.
I feel
Yes.
like, and several of the vendors that we work with, it's not just a gig. It's part
Sure.
of who we are.
Sure.
And I agree with you 100%.
Well, a lot of this, and I've said this, and I believe we talked about it. I know we've talked about it before, but even being a vendor, it can be the next gig. This is what I'm doing this weekend. And we do it a lot, and we do it a lot. And you roll on, years go by, you've got 50, 100, 200 weddings just rolling like that. It can just be the next gig. But these people, it is the biggest, most expensive, most stressful day of their life.
Right.
Every time we walk in the building, it's that way.
Right.
Yes.
And so it can be the next gig, but for them, it's the biggest thing of their life. So you have to get in that mindset of like, we can't mess this up.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
We like this is why we're here doing this.
Totally.
Agree.
But that's
good.
It's wild when you think about it that way, because it is the next gig for us.
Yes.
But for them, it's the only one.
Only.
Yeah.
So
Exactly
that's why it's got to
right.
be perfect.
Absolutely.
That's why it's important that you pick the right people. And that's why it's important.
Absolutely.
Man, it's
Whatever-
amazing we get to do this. It's
It
crazy.
is, it is.
Crazy. Okay, mid-tier weddings now, and this is the range that all three of us actually fall under as vendors.
Okay.
So if you're getting booked, usually I'm getting booked. Are these type of wedding
I'm gonna
stuff.
agree
So
with you
whether you're the
100%.
florals, whether you're the DJ, whether I'm the DJ or video, this is what happens a lot. This mid-tier weddings average in Alabama ranges from 25 to 60,000. This is mid-range. What do you feel? How do you feel about that?
I'm spot on. I
Spot on?
believe I do. Like some of the numbers that we've talked about here could range quite a bit, and with some of the categories, but I do believe 25 to 60,000 is spot on for most of the weddings that I coordinate and do florals for, is right in the middle of that budget. Now,
Okay.
I've done some that are the smaller tier, and I've done some that are the higher tier, but that right there is an average budget. And when I hire y'all, that's the budget I'm working with, is that 25.
Isn't that wild?
Well, I
When I-
feel like
when I-
even more like thank you,
Like honored really
like
well.
honored, like are you like
when
wow, you know, I
this is
didn't,
the
I had
tier-
no idea. Like
Isn't that
these
crazy?
numbers are just like bonkers. to me.
Same, same.
When I'm texting, hey, are you available for this day for that? This is the range that I'm hiring you guys in. This is
crazy.
the wedding range that I'm hiring you in.
It's wild. I know the average right now, I think, is around $36,000 in Alabama is the average
36.
for spending on a wedding. Now, there's a lot of people around that number, but then there's also a good bit in the upper 60, 80, 100, 200K,
is.
500K.
We have.
You know,
We
that
have.
if you got the money you want to spend, it's a great time. And because I was researching, I was like, how many millionaires in Alabama? Apparently, there's like over 90,000 millionaire households in Alabama, which is about 5% of the population. So there's 5% of Alabama who are millionaires. Now, I didn't go feel the need to Google billionaires or anything, but like millionaires, you know, someone who they have a little more than just their means, and maybe they have, you know, multiple houses and whatever. Now, I know it's not, I don't know, I'm not an expert I'm not a finance expert, but I guess if you worked really hard and did things for a decade or two and saved and invested, you could probably be a millionaire, and maybe one of you are. Maybe we all are actually a millionaire.
I'm pretty sure I'm in the 95% right there.
Yeah, me too, Chad. Me too.
You know,
Hats off to you, Carson.
like, you notice Carson didn't say a word. Right there.
Well, I thought you were going to rat y'all out.
All right, Carson, I hear you, brother.
You don't need me to book you anymore, Chad. Are you available?
Okay.
Oh, mercy. Yeah, you can do a lot before if you get no.
Give us some pointers, Carson.
Well, just don't have kids until you're. No, I'm just kidding.
Next video, How to Become a Millionaire by Carson Bruce.
No. But anyway, it's like okay, 90,000 households. Okay, there's 5% of the population that can have basically any wedding they want to locally in Alabama. So. Anyway, mid-tier weddings, $25,000 to $60,000. In this category, you're getting a venue that's $6,000 to $12,000, which this is the Wedding Venues official YouTube page. How do you feel about that number, Angel? Is that reflective of around Birmingham and east of Birmingham,
Very much
Gaston,
so, yeah.
Jacksonville, Oxford? Okay.
I mean, we've got a few a little cheaper and a few a little higher, but that's very average
Okay.
for when we're booking brides, what we're spending on venue.
Okay.
And it really depends on if you're staying the night, how many days you have it, what days you're getting married, you know, because a lot of venues around, which I love, offer, you know, you get to stay the night Friday night and then Saturday night also. And that really helps getting hair and makeup done for the bridal party, making sure my groomsmen are where they are when they're supposed to be.
Right.
So that's a very average price for venues right now in our area.
Okay. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
I mean,
you know, when
we
go
wouldn't
in-
need to know.
No, we wouldn't. And that's a little bit of that. I'd never know when we walk in a place. Now, you can assume. You
Right.
walk into certain places, you're like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, this is
you
nice.
know, like, you know,
Yeah.
And then you look at it, the grounds are kept a certain way. There's things,
They're clean.
There are reasons. There are reasons why.
It has AC actually in this barn.
Yeah.
No, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Real big in May when you got a cake and yeah, you want to have it delivered at 8 a.m. That's not happening. But yeah.
Yeah. But it makes sense. Some of them. Now, I don't know who's
Right.
who's where and all that. I have no idea. When we go in, we just go in. You know, it's
Do our
not.
thing.
It's not part of anything that I would do. You know,
Right.
But you can tell the ones
Yes.
that, or at least the ones that I think are probably on the what I would call higher tier. Shoot, I was clueless about this, so maybe I don't know anything about this.
Well, we didn't know Carson was a millionaire either, but you know.
Hey,
No, I am not just to clear it up, I'm not a millionaire.
he finally said something. It took 10 minutes.
Listen, I'm just trying to work on six figures right now. Okay, listen.
We're all in the same ball game, aren't we?
we're all here, you know. Anyway, guys. Okay, so catering is about 25 to 55 per person.
That's
about right.
yeah, that's
Okay.
spot on.
Now, and sometimes there's some nuance with like cocktail hour hors d'oeuvres, right?
Well,
Added
that's
in.
definitely an added expense.
Okay. That's an added expense.
Yes. I mean, right now, 28 to 55 per person. That's buffet. You can have a carving station.
Okay.
You know, a little higher end meats. And instead of macaroni and cheese, you might get macaroni and cheese bites or grilled asparagus. You know,
Okay.
it does change a little bit from the 28 to 55. But cocktail hour, when you're having past hors d'oeuvres or like a charcuterie grazing table, that is going to be an added expense.
Oh, okay. See, I thought this was included in that. That's not included.
Well, it depends on what caterer you get, but you know,
Okay.
it could add on up.
What when we're talking about these plates? I've wondered.
Back on the
this.
catering again.
No, I've wondered on this. When we talk about these plates, and we're talking 25 to 55 is where we're at.
Yes.
This is what we're talking about now. This is more than just food. You have to have people on payroll that are coming here
do.
and serving and
You
doing
do.
this. It becomes a big mess when you cut costs on people serving food.
Preach to
Yes.
me, please.
Come on, Chad.
I
It's-
mean,
it's
oh my.
a big deal. So that your staff has to come in that.
Huge ordeal. Y'all, as a coordinator, when I have a caterer, and there's nothing wrong with who catered your wedding, but most of the time they drop off and they leave.
Right.
So do you know who that comes on? That falls on a good coordinator.
Okay.
And I'm just saying a good coordinator is going to take over that responsibility and they're going to make sure that the food is replenished. I mean, it's an added expense for me when we have someone just drop off that's not full catering, that they just drop off and leave, because I'm not going to let it fall the wayside. We're going to hire extra people to come in and do that. And presentation is a big deal for couples right now. They want the food to taste good, but they also want it to look good. So that's where the higher tiered process come in. They're going to come in and they're going to give us pretty chafing dishes and pretty like different heights of foods, a presentation, and you're getting what you pay for when you do that. And the staff is a big deal. They're going to
Yes.
go around and help bus tables. They're going to go around. A lot of times they'll even cut the cake in that price. So it's not just the food, it is the staff.
Sure.
And it makes, as a coordinator, it makes my day a lot easier when a full staff catering company comes in. It really
And
does.
that's not something that, you know, as these brides are budgeting things, they don't know that, which is this conversation is
Yes.
great for. But and it's also something that you may not necessarily notice until it's not there.
You're right
Right.
about that.
Lord have mercy. When it's not there, it's wild. Cake utensils. You know how many times, hey, we're going to cut the cake. No, we're playing music. We're making announcements. And they're standing there going, I don't know. You know, like, oh,
Yes.
crap, it's not here.
Yeah.
That's why it's important that you hire a coordinator or planner.
Yes.
That's probably the first thing you should do. I know that's
Absolutely.
not that we're
Come
not
on.
talking about that, but
on, Chad.
that right there is the first thing you should do. There are venues that will not work with you unless you have a coordinator or planner.
Right,
Now
right.
you may not have to use theirs. You make them bring your own, or some people they like it to where they use theirs, you know, which in a way is understandable. They know how to do things at their venue.
Right.
I wouldn't personally like that. You know, I would like to be able, if I was choosing, my daughter's 15. One day she will, you know, hopefully get married. If she does, I'm going to be in this. And clearly I am out of my league with this budget stuff.
You need to start saving now,
Start
man.
saving now.
Brother, already.
Yes.
Anyway, but the staff,
It's a big deal.
and it costs money for staff.
It does. It does.
People don't work for free.
Yep.
Some might, you know, family. You know,
You're right.
Angel brings them all.
Yeah,
I've seen them all.
she does,
boy.
she
I've
does,
seen
she
Bird
does.
many times, man.
God love.
She can start bringing her dogs now.
You know, but it takes that. So there's the price.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And so photography is 2,000 to 4,500. Videography about the same, 2,000 to 4,500. DJ in this mid tier. Now this said on my research 1,200 to 2,000, but might definitely be more. Bands, if included, pushes to the higher end. I mean, $2,000-3,000, but it's hard to get a band for that price.
Wow, I couldn't imagine a band coming.
I can't imagine.
Everybody in the band has to make it worth their time,
Right.
and they're talented, and they got
Oh.
all the stuff they got to do.
Oh, yeah.
That's a different
Most
world.
bands that I hire for brides are anywhere between $6,000 and $12,000.
Yeah, you know, I didn't really know, but I thought that makes sense.
So they're kind of on par with the mid-tier venues budget.
Yes,
then
they are.
The
They are.
quotes, amazing. Planner and coordinators $2,000 to $8,000 depending on if it's month of or full planning, and florals are $3,000 to $8,000. I guess it could go
It
upwards.
could definitely go up. I
Okay,
mean,
talk about that a little bit.
the
You are a
average-
florist of 25 years. Tell us.
the average wedding that I have done this year, I mean, average flowers are 6,000 to 7,000 easy. And
you do a great job. You do, doesn't she? Incredible job.
Fantastic.
well, and florals have gone up. I mean, y'all, there's flowers that I was paying $30 a pack for last year that I'm paying $80 a pack for this year. So if you have a florist and they're telling you, hey, I'm going to give you an estimate, but I cannot, 2 weeks before your wedding, it 100% could go up. They're telling a true story.
Okay.
Because there is times that because I told a bride what the price was, when I priced them out a year ago, we lost our tails. And I'm not the only one. There are several other florists, Missy and Samantha. We have talked about this extensively, how we are all telling our couples, this may go up. We have no control. No control at all on that. Food, same. We have no control of what the food prices are going to be.
That's a very, very good point that people know. You're not trying to hoodoo somebody.
No.
Right? I'm not trying to nickel and dime you and get a little more money here. This is a real possibility.
We're just trying to break even. You know, that's really, we were just trying to break even some weddings, just to not be in the red. And the same things with caterers. I mean, I'm not a very good business person. We all know this. I like doing flowers. I like doing weddings. But I am in the business. And, you know, my people don't want to come to work for free. And my husband doesn't want me to go to work for free. God love. I don't understand him, but we are a business, and we cannot control the prices of flowers. If there's a flood in California, it can change the prices of flowers. I mean, if there's Mother's Day weekend, just because I don't know that they can, but they're going to go up. I can't tell you how many weddings I book Mother's Day weekend and then go, oh my gosh, I did not price it for Mother's Day weekend. And so I booked one for next year, and I had it marked off, and she's like, we really want you to do our wedding. And I was like, okay, well, let's speak freely here. I will do it, but I need you to know that the florals are going to be double just because it's Mother's Day weekend. And she's like, Angel, I didn't even realize it was Mother's Day weekend. I wasn't even thinking. And so it is something that we cannot control that as DJs, as photographers, as videographers. You can go, okay, yeah, I can come off $500 if I want to. We can't always do that. Sometimes we have to go 500 over just because, or 1,000 over, because it fluctuates so much.
Wow. Good thing you don't have a ton of weddings Valentine's weekend, right?
We're not doing Valentine's week.
Her face, you look so disgusted. No.
I just don't think that holiday should exist. But
Goodness.
anyways.
And you have a team that helps you. There's a lot that goes into it. I know when we're setting up for DJ, we see their team setting up, the centerpieces and the cross and the arbor and all the things.
I actually have two teams that come in. I have a 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
Because we start loading usually at 6 a.m. here.
That early?
Yes.
Oh, here. From
We
here.
load at
Okay.
6 because we need to be at the venue. I like to be there by 8. So if we're an hour away, we need to leave here by 6:45, 7. So I have a team that comes in from 6 to 2, and then I have a team that comes in from 2 to close.
Okay.
That way everybody can be fresh, because by the time close, well, I've been working 18 hours. And so I have that fresh team come in, and they just work and they just know, and they make it happen.
It's good. Yeah,
Yep.
your team's awesome. Okay, let's keep going. Dress and attire, $1,500 to $3,500. Cake, $500 to $1,000 probably. Decor rentals, $1,500 to $5,000. Miscellaneous, $1,000 to $3,000. We're just kind of ballparking.
And our miscellaneous could be, they want fireworks. There is, they want live violinists for ceremony. It can range a lot. That miscellaneous can range.
That's good. So with this category, you're getting good, solid venues.
Agreed.
You're getting professional vendor teams, like a whole team of people that know how to work together.
Sure.
We all know how it makes a big difference when you have a good planner, right?
Yes, that's 100%. That starts there.
And you've been doing it for so long that it's probably like most of your weddings you do, because of the price point that you are and because of the level of talent you are, you're working with other talented vendors. So it just makes everything better.
Yes.
Like, it's kind of like what in the audio production world with the studio production, like the better of an audio mixer you are, the better you get to work with better talent, and the actual less talent you need, because if you're having, Michael Jackson sing your vocals, 3 takes you're out, you comp some ones where you're good to go, where a less talented mix engineer or producer would have to produce for a less talented artist. And it's kind of like this: with better talent, you work with better talent. And when you book all that to say, you book a good vendor, book another good vendor, book a good planner, she's going to get the best ones for you with that budget. So anyway, okay, luxury weddings are just, I guess, anything over $60,000, $70,000.
Yes.
And we're not going to really talk about that because you could just spend anything and everything on that. So I'll just kind of skim over that. Okay, let's talk to actually the part of how you actually practically make a budget. Obviously, a lot of us have learned how to make a budget. I'm not really good with budgeting. Maybe y'all are.
No. Only my brides.
Okay.
Not close.
Well, maybe you'll be a millionaire if you start to learn how to budget. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Yeah, same here.
So what's he telling us, Chad?
Solid.
No.
He's sneaking them in right there.
No. He is.
Okay, so you got to start with your total budget. You got to start with your total number.
Yes.
We already talked about this. Who's contributing? What's the comfortable amount? Where's it coming from?
Do you know how many couples say, "Oh, we don't have a budget"? Everybody has a budget.
Yeah, everyone has a number.
I mean, that's a true story. And then I'll say, okay, if you don't have a budget, so you're okay with us spending $100,000? Oh no, we don't want to spend that much money. Then you have a budget. You have a budget.
Yeah.
I mean,
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
it's true
They don't have a
story.
budget.
Yeah, you have a budget.
Well, you're probably talking to a young girl. It's like, my dad says he's going to do, like, whatever I want. I get what I
Exactly.
want.
Dad just.
Well, there's with reason.
There's with reason.
Absolutely.
It's-
With everything in life.
That's why we're not even covering the high end right here,
No.
because it can just keep going.
It can.
Yes.
It can.
Yes. Priorities. We already did a video on priorities. You guys can check that out, by the way. You got to prioritize. You can't have everything. You can't have an incredible, maybe you can for a luxury, but you can't have an incredible DJ and have incredible photographer and have incredible videographer and expect the fully carved station, whatever you're talking about, with catering,
Yes.
$55, $60 per plate, and only have $35,000 or $30,000 as your total budget. You can't have everything. So you got to determine what's your absolute priority. Let's talk about the breakdown into the different categories. So typically speaking, the percentage-wise, for venue and catering, it can be anywhere from 40 to 60%. I want you to butt in here because you've said this multiple times recently, how couples have gone to go book their venue, but accidentally booked a venue that was like 50 or 60% of their, or maybe even over like half of their budget. And therefore they couldn't get any more than just like another, pretty solid vendor, and everyone else kind of had to cut corners on other ones.
I mean,
Talk about that a
cut
little bit.
vendors completely out.
Okay.
I mean, I've had just in the past 6 months, brides give me their budget, and I was like, okay. They're like, well, I'm going to look at this venue, and I'm going to look at this venue, and I would say, baby, this venue is half your budget. You are not going to be able to have A, B, and C if you go book this. But Miss Angel, I really like this venue. Baby, I like eating steak every day, but it's just not reality. And they would go book it anyways. They would go book the venue, and then we would go sit down and talk, and we would start taking numbers, and then they would just be crying. And I was like, but I told you that you can't have a $25,000 budget and spend 15 on the venue. That's just not. It's just not. But there are some amazing venues out there for $6,000 and $7,000.
Yeah.
There really is. And if you have good florals and a good photographer and someone who's decorating, you can still have the same feel as the $15,000 venue as you do the $6,000. And look, there are some venues out there that I love working at that are $13,000 and $14,000. I love working there. There's nothing wrong with booking that if your budget allows it, but you cannot spend $10,000 to $15,000 on a venue if you only have a $20,000 to $25,000 budget.
Right.
I mean, that's simple kindergarten math.
Right.
You can't do it, and they just so. You've got to write down a budget. Before you book a venue, you have got to talk budget with whomever is paying for your wedding, and then prioritize. We've talked about that several times. And I'm saying venue is usually the girl's number one priority. So let's get our budget. Let's find our venue that fits our budget, and then we'll prioritize everything else.
That's good.
But it is a big deal right now. It is. And it's sad because and a lot of the brides are going ahead and paying the venue in full. And I'm like, baby, at least if you would have just paid the deposit, we might just be out $1,000. But you've spent your whole. Now what are we going to do? We don't even have the deposits to pay the other vendors, and that's a big thing right now. And I can't fix those things.
I got you.
I can fix a lot, but that's not something I can fix.
It sounds a little bit like if anybody's watching this, like it comes off, for lack of a better term, elitist. Like you got to spend this much money to have this. It's not necessarily that, because
yes.
When I first started, I may have been able to play weddings for $500 and $600, and we did a really good job. Put a lot of effort into it. The same effort I would put into it right now, but it takes a while to get traction. So there are good DJs. There are people. Flowers cost what flowers cost.
True story.
We're going there, but there are venues that are new that you can get in right now.
Yes.
Right.
And then they're going to blow up to where then they're going to be in that mid tier. So I don't think that we're saying, hey, you've got to spend the money. Now, most rule of thumb, you're going to get what you pay for.
True.
That's
Most,
kind of
yes,
like we're going to go 80% there.
80%.
But there's 20 there.
They're the
now,
exception.
I'm throwing numbers out.
But
there's 20 there that these guys are just getting started. Somebody is new. They may not know their worth. Like they don't know the market. Whatever it is.
Right.
I'll give you an example. We did this for several years, and I would have, Angel was one of them, people, venue owners, planners, like, wow, you need to charge more. And that went on for years.
Wow.
I think they say that now, but long time here. We've been doing this a long time.
They're like, can we go another hour here?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, there are exceptions to the rule here.
Well, we all had to start somewhere.
Sure.
I mean,
so by all means, or whatever term here I would say, but we're not saying you got to pay this to get this.
Absolutely.
No.
But most of the time it is that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
True. Always a range. Okay, 40 to 60% on both venue and catering. Excuse me. This is hypothetical. Photo and video team, if you want, 12 to 18% of your budget. Planner and coordinator could be 10 to 15%. I would probably go 15% if you do want a good full package deal. Florals and decor, 8 to 12%. Entertainment, 8 to 12%. Attire, 5 to 7%. Miscellaneous, 5 to 10% is what my research says here into different categories. But you can adjust those percentages however you want to. So, with that being said, let's talk about some common budget mistakes that you see couples make. Yeah, Angel, obviously we don't budget for people. Me and you, Chad, we don't.
No.
So, one thing on research was booking a venue before knowing the guest count. Is that a big thing, or? I mean, obviously, if you're planning, you're probably giving them a checklist of things to do.
It can be. Sometimes if you think your guest count's going to be 100 and then, oops, I got 250 and we've already booked a venue that only holds 100. Or even some venues that I work on a tier program where your first tier is like up to 110 guests. And after you go of that, it goes up $500 every 50 guests.
Oh, okay.
And so that can mess up your budget big time.
Yeah.
Or venues who aren't large enough to accommodate your guest count. And so then what are you going to do? We're going to have to rent a tent. So there goes another part of our budget.
Right. Okay, I want you to talk about this. Assuming DIY decor saves a lot. This is a big misunderstanding.
Very big.
Tell us about that. I don't know. I don't really care about decorations and decor and floors. That's not my world, but it is your world,
It is my
Angel.
world.
So
It
tell us
is.
about this.
A lot of brides think that they can do their wedding cheaper if they go buy everything and DIY everything. And I'm not going to say 100% of the time that's a false statement, but a lot of the time it's a false statement. A lot of planners or coordinators have decor that they offer when you hire them on as their services, so that's going to save you money. I mean, that's what we do. If you hire us as your coordinator, like, for instance, cake stands, you're automatically going to get to use our cake stand, and that, for one, saves the cake person from bringing it and you taking it back. I mean, it does. Sometimes that's $50 to $75 on a rental fee just for that. We have flower girl baskets. Most of the time, those end up in the trash, and they're $20 or $30 a piece. So we just bring them for them to get to use them. I mean,
All these details. My head's spinning.
Well, that's it. There's so much.
There's so much.
We would never think.
We never think about it.
And I know, and we're in it every week.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine doing this one time.
Yes.
There's no way they know all that.
Right.
Pinterest,
No way.
whatever.
yes.
They still don't know all those details
Absolutely.
that you do know.
And a lot of the girls will sell them on Marketplace at a discounted price, and they may get some of their money back. But DIY is not always the cheapest way to go. I mean, I've had girls go, well, I'm bringing my own tablecloths. That is a coordinator's worst nightmare. Because you know what? They're coming in the plastic wrap. They're wrinkled. They've not been washed. And I'm just, Well, I can buy them for the same price that you're renting them to me for, and I can resell them. You're right, you can, and they're going to look like garbage on your tables. And I mean, yeah.
And then you're going to have to get on Marketplace, and you're going to have to sell them.
Thank you.
And you're going to have to answer messages.
Yes.
And you're going to ask, can I do it? Can I get it cheaper? Then you got to meet them. Then you got to do all
Yes.
that song and dance.
Yep.
And
Just
that's
think about all that
okay.
stuff. It's too much.
And it's
Yeah.
okay if that's what you want to do, but it's not always going to save you money.
Right.
It's just not. And so, I mean, I see a lot of brides do their own florals. And actually, I have seen some beautiful flowers that girls have done their own. That's a true story. I see it all the time on Marketplace. We'll go to Costco, go to Sam's. If that's what your budget allows, then do it. But if your budget allows for you to just rent those decor and tablecloths, and if your budget allows for you to pay a florist to do them, do it, because that's going to take less stress off you, your mom, your bridesmaids. And I'm not saying money's not important, because we all work hard for our money and it's important. But if you can afford it, then do it. Enjoy your day and don't spend the whole day decorating and setting your florals up and up all night doing your flowers.
It goes. I see this so much, and I know you do. Well, all you do as well. But at the end of the night, these folks are killing themselves, and I'm like, what? Why is the bride over there cleaning
Right.
tables?
Yes.
What are you
Yes.
doing?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and I'm like, and I know what they did. Since we're talking about budgets, they didn't budget that cleanup crew. And sometimes it may be the venue cleanup crew, and it may be a $400 fee. Whatever you need to do, if you
Amen.
brides are watching this, whatever you need to do,
gosh.
pay the cleanup fee.
Yes.
Look at me. Pay the cleanup
Agreed.
fee. I have seen brides
Yes.
Me too.
have been taking hair and makeup at 6 o'clock all day long. The stress that goes on it, the emotions. By the end of the night, if they're going to party a little bit, whatever they're going to do, they're going to dance. They may drink, they may not, whatever they're going to do.
But then they stop.
The end of the night, all of a sudden, you got to clean that up.
Yes.
And I've seen it several
Me
times.
too.
I'm like,
Me too.
bless her
That's why I
heart.
became
What
a
is that?
coordinator. That's why I became a planner, because
There
I was
you go.
seeing it time after time with florals. It's not supposed to be that way.
Right.
If you can afford it, cut your guest list down by 50 guests.
Do it.
So you can hire a coordinator, so you can hire the cleanup crew. Y'all, I promise y'all, I've seen it. I can't tell you how many times moms, I mean,
Moms, yeah.
even though a wedding we did together, even though I was her coordinator, the mom just stopped enjoying the night so she could clean up because she was afraid we weren't get out of there in time and get charged more. That's why I started, for one, upping my team. I don't want any mom who's paid me to have to do anything. I want my team to handle everything, and that's including picking up the card box at the end of the night. That's including packing up the cake, whatever. I don't want any mom who is paying my team to have to do anything but thank me for a wonderful day and leave out that door with their decor.
I am a big fan of that.
Love that.
Like 100%.
that.
Hey, I see it constantly. Walking around with trash bags, doing that stuff
Shouldn't
in
happen.
their dress.
Right,
You know,
that's right.
I'm like,
Yes. Shouldn't
Yes.
happen.
Yes.
And I'm not, I mean, it's easy for me to say because I'm a coordinator and planner. It's easy for me to say these things. And some coordinators and planners do it, and some coordinators and planners don't. But they shouldn't have to. I mean, the parents should not have to do anything if you have a coordinator or planner. They should not have to do
that.
anything. But I'm going to say this too, and I'm going to step on some toes, and I really
it.
don't care. Vendors should be taken care of just like they're part of the wedding party, just like they're part of a guest. Vendors, I'm a vendor-friendly coordinator, and vendors should be taken care of. You should eat when it's convenient for you to eat.
Thank you, Angel.
I'm being honest. I mean, if it's like my DJs, my photographer, my videographers, they need to eat when the couple is eating. DJs need to eat when the couple is eating, because after that, we've got first dances, we've got introductions, we've got cake cutting. Y'all have got to get the dance floor moving after all these things happen. It's not time for you to eat. And I'm going to step on toes again. A lot of couples go, I have to feed the vendors. Yes, you have to feed the vendors. I will not work with a couple who does not want to feed the vendors.
I didn't realize anybody would even care.
Oh.
I don't think now, once again, I don't eat a ton here.
I know.
But I don't know that I've ran across, and I see stuff online, whatever.
right.
They're like, man, they didn't feed us, and no.
There's only one
happened.
time.
But in my
Only one
mind,
time.
I'm thinking, we're in the South here. We're in
Right,
Alabama,
right.
man. They're going to feed you around
Yeah, they're gonna
here.
feed
you,
You
of
know,
course,
and
of
that's,
course.
in my mind, that's the
Yeah.
most of it. But I only see that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening behind when you're planning. Like, we got to feed those guys?
Yes,
Oh,
it
well, I
happens.
mean,
It happens.
Okay.
But it's only happened a few times as far as with me that a couple would go. But I do see it online a lot. Most of my couples, and I will say this, I pray for every bride that reaches out to me, if they're not meant to be in my life and me in theirs, that it doesn't work out, because they're obviously meant to be in another planner coordinator's life for a reason. I have very few bridezillas. That's a true story. I feel like God puts the brides that are supposed to be in my life for a reason, and me and theirs. I don't even know how we got off on this, and I know it has to do with budget, but
we've done that all night.
Oh, yeah, I do.
but it just makes a difference who your vendors are, and it does make a difference who your couples are. And back to budget, I believe if the right couples come in our lives with the right vendors, we can make their budgets work, whether it's a $10,000 budget or a $60,000 budget. But a common mistake, and we talked about it earlier, sometimes couples come to me last and want me to coordinate. The very last vendor is hired. And it makes no sense to me, because I could have saved you money from the beginning. Not just me, but other coordinators. Am I the best coordinator in the world? No. Am I the worst coordinator in the world? No. Are there coordinators all across the state? Absolutely. And we have all worked with them, whether I'm just on the floral side or whether I'm just on the bartending side. And I learn a lot when I know a video for another day, but it is important to have a good networking of vendors that would do anything for each other, and we work like a well-oiled machine.
Sure, and it's just the like mind of, and back to the athlete, the team part of the goal there, regardless of how it gets done, is that bride and groom
Absolutely.
end up and their parents, the people that forked out all the money.
Yes.
Whoever it did, if they did it, the grandparents, whoever it was, walk out of that going, wow, that was awesome.
A good
like,
team.
it was great. And,
Yes.
it takes the vendors to get that done with that like mind, to put that effort in, regardless if I've got to do some things that I've never done before, or help do this or sweep that or whatever it is. My guys are all over the place.
I've had a DJ set a table for me. He was done.
Yep.
He's like, you want me to do this for you? Yes, we had to do a flip.
Yep.
And he was putting placemats. I mean, he was.
Hey,
It's team vendor. You have to do what you have to do.
Because at the end of it, when it's all over with, one thing goes wrong. Food is not right. The music may not be right. Whatever it is, that one thing is what people say, hey, that was awful. Nobody's saying, hey, the flowers are beautiful. The wedding was flawless. All that stuff they're saying, man, that chicken was dry.
Exactly.
And that's what they're talking about.
Yes.
It's the one bad
The
thing.
one bad
Yes.
thing.
There's 100 great things, but the one bad thing.
We're so
will come.
judgmental,
So
so-
if you can
Yes.
get it going with everybody.
Well, that's where, and I think that's where brides, one of their most common mistakes is waiting to the very end to hire a coordinator or planner. Cut your budget somewhere else. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a coordinator or planner. I'm saying it because I can't know how many times you have called me and said there wasn't a planner. I've had to run the day. How many times a photographer, I know, or how many times photographer friends are going, there wasn't a coordinator or planner. It just makes the day. I don't even think the couples realize how much easier their day goes by not cutting that out of budget.
They don't.
Right.
And that's the thing. You don't know it until it's gone wrong. You have no idea what you guys, and I'm talking about you guys in general as planners.
Yes.
You have no idea because you're not supposed to see it.
Right,
No.
right,
Like
right.
It
It's
just
magic.
went by perfect.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
everybody's like, wow, that was a great wedding, whatever.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm like, geez, you don't see how many fires she was putting out back then. Or even us, we got equipment
Exactly.
failures.
Yes.
But when you get it done,
Right.
they don't know.
Well, what
No.
happens is when you don't have a planner, or maybe you have a family friend who is the planner, what happen, like as the DJ or the videographer, you ask a very simple question that should be just like easy to kind of like figure out, and you ask them, and then they're like, oh, let me go ask the bride. That's
No.
the worst. That is the worst.
But it is common.
But then it's reception stuff. It's like, hey, are we coming in right now through this door at this time? Do we want to wait 10 more minutes? oh, let me go ask right. No, let's just
No,
make a
no,
decision.
make a decision.
I will make the decision.
Yes.
Right
Because at
there.
that point, you make, and I tell my couples this: there comes a certain time I'm making executive decisions, and you're just going to have to live with this. Is what you hired me for, and I'm going to make those decisions. And 99% of the time, they're like, absolutely. 1 or 2 times I've been questioned, and then at the end of the night, they're like, you made the right decision. Sorry for questioning you. You know, it's just.
This is where, as we said earlier, I'm not sure if we were recording when we said it. This is where this is what you do. They're doing it one day,
Yes.
so they don't really know the flow and how it needs to go and various things like that.
Yes.
But you do.
Yes.
So that's why, and I've been with you when you've made those executive
I know.
decisions
You-
before.
you both
and,
have.
And it was like, ooh, that's a big one. All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Like, is this what we're doing? All right, let's go.
There's
And-
been, I think, twice my whole, and I mean, I've been doing this a minute. I've had to go to a bride. One, it's not even, we're not going to talk about it. But 2 is when the straight line winds came through and took everything that we had away. And I don't think there's ever been a wedding that I thought, I'm not going to be able to make this happen. And that was I thought, I'm not going to be able to make this happen. I don't know, Lord, I'm not going to make this happen. And we had 3 choices. And her choice, the one she chose, was to get married that day. Every vendor there put down what they were doing, and they stopped and they cleaned up and made it happen. And y'all, it was the worst, best wedding I've ever done, only because I seen, and I'm gonna cry, I seen a community come together to make it happen, and how God showed up and showed out for these babies. And you will never, ever know from the before and after pictures that was the same day. Because you don't go to your couples and make decisions. You make them yourselves. But I did have to go to them and be like, what do you want? And they both looked at me and said, hey, we want to get married today. And we made it happen. But if you don't have a coordinator, or if you just have an aunt or a grandmother, let me go ask the bride. That's not what a coordinator is supposed to do.
Right.
Make decisions.
You know them so well so that in that moment you make a decision
Yes.
on behalf of them.
Yes.
right?
Sure.
And that's why it's not good to have a day of coordinator.
Right.
Because I can't know my couples if I'm just your day of coordinator. I want to know you. I want to know your likes, your dislikes. I want to know how you met. There's so many things that couples don't even realize, that most planners and coordinators, when we do it, we want to know who they are. I want to portray to you who they are. How many times I've called you and said, hey, I'm planning this wedding, and I give you the background on these babies, because I want my vendors to know who they are also, especially y'all, my photographer, my videographer. I want the people who are going to be with them all day long to know who our couples are.
Right. That's so crucial.
So the moral of the whole story is shift that budget, slide this slider down a little bit,
Yes.
do whatever you need to do to slide that coordinator up, whoever it may be. Now, and what you were talking about right there, there are times you come in, I think what it sounds like to me, and I've had this happen through conversations with various planners, is they realize late that they're overwhelmed, and they're like, I am in deep water right here.
Right,
And
right.
then they come to get you.
Yes.
And then there's so many things that you could have saved them to begin with. You said that
Yes,
earlier.
yes.
but
I think
that
that's where
makes
we
it tough.
were.
It was just,
Yes.
you get in deep water quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
And when we were talking about the budget with the DIY stuff is great. It's neat if you can do it, crafty, the Pinterest brides, whatever
Right.
it may
Right.
be. But that grows quickly.
It really
And
does.
you're like, and then you end up with the time gone. You end up with everything gone.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, I've got more time and more money in this. If I would have just got it done the other way.
Yes.
Right,
You know,
right.
I wanted to say that earlier when we were talking about that, but
So good.
but
But how
yeah.
many times also, and a lot of vendors will be like, oh, you have a planner, whether it be me, whether it be another one. I work with them often. If you hire me for A, B, and C, and because she's your coordinator, I'm going to give you a $200 discount. So you just saved $200 by hiring a coordinator or planner that's well known, that they know is going to make the day go easier on them, that you're not going to have to be the coordinator or
Oh, that's
planner.
true.
That's so
And
true.
so,
So true.
even photographers that I work with as a planner, well, are you going to be there? Are you coordinated? Are you just helping out? And so many times they go, well, if they've got a coordinator or planner, I'm going to give them a discount on this just because it's going to make my day go easier,
Yes.
knowing that there's a coordinator and planner there.
Yeah,
So
when we know
Yes.
if we're doing various weddings in a day, or if I'm just solo, or however we're going, like it's nice, you know, when I call them and I call my guys and we're going over the wedding, you know, we meet and do whatever, and I'm like, well, Angel's there or coordinator B's there or whatever, so like it's taken care of.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's so nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
It's the stress that comes along when you show up and they're like, I don't know when we're going to do this. Like you said, let me go ask the bride or whatever.
Right.
No. Okay. And I'll look at the photographer. Depends on if we work together or not, or whatever. I'm like, hey, we're going to have to take care of this.
Yes.
You know, so I'm going to be sure you're ready. I'm going to be sure you're ready. All right. I'm going to get them.
Absolutely.
We're going to do this. And
Yes.
it's just a mess. It's a whole thing.
Totally.
You know, moral of the story, move those sliders around.
Boom.
And I keep moving the sliders. My son plays PlayStation, NCAA or
Okay,
whatever.
yeah.
And create a player. You know, if he's going to be fast, he can't be big.
Right.
He's going to be, you know, whatever. So
That's
I'm
good.
moving the slider around to be sure you've got max planner there.
That's good.
You know,
That's
right.
That's where I'm at.
No
with
matter who
budget.
it
It's a
is.
true story.
And it's not just Angel. And we're
No,
not saying
it's
that.
not at all.
We work with
right.
a lot of people, and,
Right,
and
right.
it's not. We're not saying, "Hey, I'm the best DJ. You're the best
right.
DJ,
No.
videographer. You're the best planner."
Right.
In general,
In general.
somebody, and I'm using the word reputable a lot.
Yes.
I'm not saying that's you've got to have a huge reputation along this of things, because there are people that are starting that are good.
Yes.
But boy, it sure is nice when they've got a bunch of weddings and they've handled a
Right.
bunch of situations.
Totally.
Because it's situations and problem solving.
Yes.
Is the whole day.
That is it.
It's everything.
That's
And
it.
On your toes all day.
yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
And I will say, when we're talking about budgeting, not like you mentioned earlier, you get what you pay for 80% of the time.
Sure,
80% of the
sure.
time. And it's so true. Not all vendors are the same. Not all planners are the same. Florists, DJs, videographers are all the same. I will say with DJ and videography, since that's just a personal thing, like when you start off, you might have 2 good lenses. And then, you start buying more and better and better, and then you get 5, 6, 7, 8 lenses. So when you book that expensive photographer or videographer who's been doing it for 10 or 15 years, they have the eye for it, the lighting. It's going to be better for the hourly rate that you've booked your venue for, because they're going to know exactly what to do. They're going to have more options in their bag of lenses to know how to make the space look better. Thing is, wedding days are run and gun, and even for DJ too, we set up our stuff however it's laid out for us to do it. With DJs too, they're not all the same. And, like in your computer or database of your songs, if you have requests in the moment, if you have a DJ who does multiple gigs every weekend and they have for 15 years, like yourself, Chad, you're going to have those 20, 30, 40, whatever it is, thousands of songs downloaded, ready to go. Now, I know it's hard to talk about this because of the online world with Apple Music and Spotify. We can pull up songs instantly, but we're in the middle of boondocks sometimes. We don't have signal.
That's a true story.
Like, we
Listen.
can't just press play.
No, you
For
can't.
those of you watching, we've talked about this a minute ago. We don't know where you guys are watching from.
Right.
But we're in Northeast Alabama.
Yes.
We're in the woods a lot of time.
With no service at all.
Yes, because music is so fluid. Just like florals, you have to order them all the time. There's new music all the time.
All the time.
And if you're not a seasoned DJ and someone has the groom himself or a bride, she comes up and says, "Hey, I want this song right now. It wasn't on the must play, whatever." And you already have it in your crate. You already have it in your playlist. Boom, you're ready to go. And if things take a turn, a good DJ, like the must play was, Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter, but all of a sudden we're like Wiz Khalifa over here. We're going like club. And like if you have a playlist that's like gonna get crunk for that particular thing, a DJ that has those different categories is gonna know how to get there quicker. That's a big thing for DJ.
Well, talking about the DJ world,
Tell us,
we
Chad.
hear a lot of, well, we just kind of need an iPod or an iPad and a Bluetooth speaker. Hey, I understand. And that's good. That's what you want. And as we said,
That's what's in your budget.
Maybe,
We're good.
Maybe we can figure something out, whatever. But you can't predict. You can picture in your head. These brides and grooms, they picture in their head. These brides have been thinking about it for a long time.
Right.
This is the way mine's going to go. Everybody's going to do this. Everybody's going to dance. It's going to do this. I'll get a playlist from people. Now, I personally, like I said, I don't necessarily do things the way I feel like a lot of people do. I don't ask.
That's good, man. That's good.
I don't ask for must plays and do not plays. If they feel inclined to give me some, I'm very welcome to it or whatever, and I don't ask for a playlist. And the reason why I don't ask for a playlist, I need to know how old they are. And that gives me an idea of when they were in high school, high school that's the music, I mean, that helps, but when we get into that portion of the night, it's important that I can see who's on the floor,
Right.
how they're moving,
Yes.
you know, how they're dressed, all the things. It takes all that to calculate. Okay, all right, now I'm seeing what's going on, and it takes all that to try to get it going. Now, does it work every time? No, and I'll tell anybody this: it don't. Not everyone is the rager you think it's going to be, but that may not be. Now, that may not be what the bride and groom want, though. Not everybody wants a rager. Not everybody wants that.
Right,
Some people want to try to turn it into a frat party, and if that's what you want, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to do my best to give you that. But when you give a list and you say, hey, I want you to play this list, and they have had it in their mind since they were a little girl, we're going to do this, and I'm going to dance, and we're going to da-da-da-da-da-da. When you get people in the moment right there, the list may not work very well.
Right.
And that's where we come in.
Yes.
It's live. It's feeling the room. The
Yes.
vibe in a room is real.
That's a true story.
Energy
Totally.
is real.
Totally.
And it doesn't necessarily, God, somebody's going to watch this and go, but it doesn't necessarily mean what I do.
Yep. 100%, Chad.
They
Yes.
come in. There are people that come in and the vibe is just there. You
They're
feel
already
it in the
there.
room.
Yes.
It's like, yes. I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of driving the bus.
Yes,
They're
yes.
back there partying.
Yes,
You know, and,
yes,
and
yes.
you know, if they want it to go this way, sometimes they'll tell you, hey, take a left, bud.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
here I
yeah.
go. So like you said, you
Absolutely.
know, and it's just, it doesn't mean, and I tell people that, like, everybody's going to tell you, hey, you do a great job. Everybody's going to tell you that. They're not going to come up to you and say, hey, you're awful.
Well,
I don't think.
no, they won't.
So, in general, if I'm doing what I do, and people are saying, "Hey, you're doing a great job," I have to take some pride in what I do, so I know if I'm doing a pretty good job or not, or I feel like I am.
Right.
So, you know, what I'm saying is they don't tell you if you're doing a good job or not. So you have to feel it, and you have to do whatever you do to feel it in that moment.
Yes.
Anyway,
Good stuff, man.
it helps. It helps when they say, "Hey, we just need a playlist. We need to do this. Do it this way."
Right.
I'm like, "Oh, I'm not sure that
Yeah.
you want to hire me,
Right.
Because I do everything in the moment. Everything's
Well, I do.
feeling.
I personally like a few must plays and do not. The do not playlists can get very funny, and it's great. And also, I know you don't do them, but the amount of times we see Taylor Swift on either so many Taylor Swift songs or Taylor Swift on the do not playlist
Do
for
not
me.
plays.
I've seen it's polar opposite. It's either I'm a Swiftie true and true, or like I hate Taylor Swift.
Right.
Do not play one single thing.
Taylor, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, anyway.
Taylor doesn't play a lot of music that you can play and
I
dance
know,
to regardless.
I know,
So,
right? But
Tell that
anyway,
bride that who's been thinking about this since 6th grade.
It's true. It's true.
she's
it's true.
evolved so much. Anyway,
true.
the big point is the comparison game. You know, we talk about things that were and just not realizing where we are now. I think it's because of maybe your
Go back
siblings.
one,
Yeah, okay.
that my sisters.
My sister said her florist only charged $500
Are
because your sister got married in February and her florals were eucalyptus and baby's breath. If you want a floral installation that doesn't look like a Hobby Lobby coupon section, it's going to cost more.
But you see a lot of that as a coordinator. My sister got married 8 years ago, and the wedding of her dreams was only $20,000. But now I'm getting married 8 years later, and it's costing me $50,000. Things have changed that much, and I think it's a sticker like shock to the parents, but also the sisters. Like, well, you only spent $25,000 on my wedding, baby girl. You got married 8 years ago. Your parents can't help that things went up in the 8-year period, so they need
Right.
some grace because
Yes.
we cannot control how much stuff has gone up in 8 years. That's a big thing I'm seeing right now also.
Absolutely. People are always scared about getting ripped off. I think we all know about that because we buy things too. Like we go buy whatever. And some people, you know, they have the money and they want to spend extra on their fashion and they're like, someone can buy a nice $300 hoodie or someone else is like, I just need a hoodie for the winter. $50 and we're good to go. And it might tear into a few years, but this other guy who paid $300 for a hoodie that might last 5 or 6 years. There's definitely quality in what we spend, but like a lot of things are like, oh, I don't want to get ripped off. Like our friend said, we're getting ripped off. She got the same thing for way cheaper. And then if that's the case, did she now ask for photos, ask for videos, ask for receipts, and then suddenly maybe you probably might not have those things? Okay, are we getting ripped off? I don't know. It's so subjective. My brother knows a guy. My cousin knows a guy, you know, and you have no-show vendors. I mean, this is real. We see
is
this
so
all the time
real.
in Facebook pages.
You know,
like,
those Facebook communities, the Central Alabama, or
Yes.
North Alabama, or, you know, or whatever it may be, you know, wherever anybody's from.
yes.
You know, that's wild. I'm I take a lot of pride in not making those pages. I don't want to end up. It's almost like the mugshot jail page or something like that. I mean, because that's what it feels like to me. All of a sudden, and I see it, and I start feeling like bad for whatever vendor this is.
Yeah.
And just because whatever you see right there might not be the whole story, and most of the time it's not.
Most of the time,
but there's some, and I've seen some, and when you start seeing some reoccurring theme there with maybe some people, I'm like, I hate that.
That goes back to
Yes.
I've experienced it myself with a vendor. It was bad, and that goes back to hire a coordinator, and she did have a coordinator. This bride had a coordinator, but she wanted to go off. Well, my friend said this vendor, and this vendor was a little cheaper than my vendors on my vendors list, and she went with him, and it was bad. It was bad. So when you hire a coordinator or a planner, when you spend that money on them, as you should, they know most of the time they know what they're doing. They know what vendors are going to show up and what vendors are going to have good food and play good music and take good pictures. Yeah. And most of the time, your venues too. Most venues, if they have a preferred vendor list, now I'm not going to say that there's venues out there that I'm not on every preferred vendor list. Your coordinator is 90% of the time going to lead you in the right direction of vendors to book. That's what they're there for. A lot of venues, not all, their preferred vendor list is there for a reason. Most of the time, their preferred vendor list does not have vendors who don't call you back most of the time or don't show up.
Right.
But it is becoming a problem.
Well, when it comes to those preferred lists like that, those venues only know who comes in and out of their doors.
You're right.
There's a lot of places I've never been. I'm not. It doesn't hurt my feelings that I'm not on the list. I don't know. Actually, I'm not real sure. I don't think I've ever gone looking to see what vendor list I'm on or when I'm not.
Right.
I just haven't done it. Maybe I need to do that, but I haven't done that.
Don't.
But they only know what they know.
You're right.
So maybe they don't know that a higher tier or somebody that's going to go in there and put on a show or great flowers, or they just don't know who it is. So it's not necessarily, that's a good way to go about it. But you really got to ask around.
Yep.
Well, your
really
reviews is a big thing.
See, I don't ask for
It
reviews
is, though.
either. Like
I don't ask for reviews.
No, I don't
either.
mean I don't ask for reviews either. And there are vendors, I think, who actually give kickbacks for reviews. If you have to give a kickback for a review, you're probably not doing as good a job as you think you are.
Well, no.
But
I don't want to ask you. I don't want to ask you to tell me how good I did.
Thank you.
I'm like,
Me
oh
either.
My God,
Me either.
It's not my deal, man.
Not me either.
Hey, are you happy with it? That's all I care about. That's good.
Good. Yeah,
You just need to be mindful of who you hire. I'll just say it. If a coordinator says, I'm $500 and I'll run your whole wedding, blah, 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 either they're scamming you for your $500 or you're going to get exactly what you pay for. That's just a true story. Now, I will say this, though. The very first wedding I ever coordinated, I got paid $177.
You're talking about when you say coordinating, and I'm not sure. There's two different terms there: planning and coordinating.
Right.
Is it? I use them, interchange them, whatever.
There is a difference. Planning is a little more involved. Like most girls, now I don't do full planning. I'm not going to design your invitations. I'm not going to send out your guest list. There are planners. That's full planning, and those planners get paid way more than I get paid.
Okay.
But I'll do partial planning. Like I'll have a bride call and say, Angel, we're getting married. We'll have our first consultation. And y'all have been on the end of those phone calls more than once where I'm sitting there with a bride and she's not booked one vendor. And I go in and book all her vendors for her. If they want to do tastings, I'll set up tastings. If they want to do it for food, for cake, some brides could care less about that. And some brides, they want the whole experience. So that's more the planning part. This is a little more involved than just the coordinating. Okay. But I don't really try to offer day of coordinating. I just can't come in and know what I need to do.
Right.
I don't. So, when you hire me, you hire me.
Yeah.
I don't have a contract that says I'm only going to talk to you 3 months out. Don't speak to me then. Sucks to be you. I shouldn't have said that, but yeah. You may want to edit that out. Yeah, I don't know who your DJ is. I don't know who your caterer is. If you get a good one, great. And if you don't, that's fine too.
Sure.
I'm not that person.
Sure.
But,
Totally.
that's what some coordinators do.
And the big thing too is we can find the same vendor for cheaper if we look harder. And you can find cheaper. You can always find cheaper.
100%.
So, but you can't always find the same quality, the same reliability, the same style that you're looking for, or someone who actually calls or texts or emails you back before 2031. So that's a true thing. There is a budget sheet. There's a budget calculator that I made on Google Sheets that I want to share with y'all. And I want to put in a hypothetical number with y'all. I'm going to screen record this so that everyone on YouTube can see. And we'll link this in the description so you guys can just share as a copy in your own Google. All right, so in Google Sheets, you have your total wedding budget on the far left corner here, and you can put in that number. And just to show you, Chad, too, it's going to kind of looks like this. Just like a normal spreadsheet, nothing too fancy, and then just formulas to calculate things. So what number do we want to put in here for total wedding budget? Let's act like your daughter's getting married.
God, what are we doing here?
We're planning her wedding.
I can't even begin. We'll say
make believe.
Let's say tier 1.
Okay.
The very.
You want to do
budget.
20,000?
Yeah. Let's just say 20,000.
Okay, let's just say now.
$20,000 right.
I got married. I got married. We did $15,000. So, and again, there's no shame. There's no judgment on any number. So whether that's 10, 15, 20, or upwards, you're all good. All right.
If my daughter's watching this, maybe we can do more. I don't know. It's hypothetical. We're hypothetical. I'm throwing up a lot of air.
Right.
You're in so much trouble when you get home.
I know it.
Yes. Okay. So 20,000. Now you don't see the spreadsheet. Me and Angel do, and everyone else watching does. Okay. So
The
how
numbers
much?
confuse me anyway. So
All right. It's like why? Okay. You get $20,000, and we're gonna use 100% of this money. Now, right now, what's plugged into the formula is the venue's at 30%, catering's at 15%. Now, I want you to listen to this. You tell me what's her what might be her priority. It might change in 5, 6, 7 years.
Way harder than
Right?
it should be.
Planning a wedding with your daughter. Okay, venue is at 30% priority. Catering's at 15%, which, by the way, catering would go into bartending too.
No, bartending separate.
Oh, let me add that. You can add little categories. Do I have bartending? No, I don't.
Hey, can I jump that up? Let me go to the mid tier there, or what? I mean,
Yeah, you want to
Yeah.
change your.
Yeah, let's give me a little more money because I'm
See how this goes? See how this goes?
I was sitting there panicking as I was talking. I was like, okay,
What do you want to do? 30,000?
yeah, let's do that. Let's
Okay.
go. We'll bump up. We'll bump up to that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I
she's a
just got my pay raised. My guy just got up.
Straight A student. She's a good kid. Never been
good.
in trouble.
Now, she your sophomore.
Yes.
Is
So
he
what do you got? About 8 years left, maybe.
Whatever.
Is he your only daughter?
I have 2 children. I have 2 children. I have a sophomore. My daughter's a sophomore, and then my son's in 7th grade.
So it's your only
13.
daughter.
Yeah, it's my only
Oh,
daughter.
yeah. You might want to bump it up to 40.
All right, let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's go. Let's
I
go
mean,
40
I was
G's.
thinking 38.6. So let's
Okay, 40,000.
Let's do 40.
You get
I don't
more.
think this is supposed to be stressful.
Okay. Your venue right now is 30%. Okay. Actually, are y'all doing bar alcohol drinking?
Yes, he is.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we will. And I
Bar.
don't know what they got into in college. We're talking. I don't know. I mean, I don't,
Okay. Sounds good. We'll put that. So, okay, your categories. I'll just go ahead and run that. Venue, catering, photo, video grouped together in case you want to do video or you don't. Photo, video, planner, coordinator, florals and decor, entertainment, attire, beauty, which is hair and makeup, cake and desserts, invitations and paper, which people don't consider. We haven't really talked about that. Your invitations, miscellaneous and buffer, rentals, and bar. All right, those are your categories. So right now, I have you set as venue is 30%, catering is 15%, photo and video 15%, planner and coordinator 8%, florals and decor 8%, entertainment 7%, attire 5%, beauty and makeup 4%, cake and desserts 2%, invitations and paper 2%, miscellaneous and buffer 2%, rentals 2%, and there's actually nothing in the bar yet, so we got to take from some of that. So
I mean,
how do you feel?
We get hit or miss on the bar. That's not necessarily a big deal.
You want but you do want a bar. You do want alcohol.
We'll just say we do. Yeah, let's just say we do. Okay, yeah.
So like, I'm gonna just say 1%.
Okay.
I mean, you still have some, but
Sure.
you might not get. Maybe you need to take 1% off of something else though, right here. Like you want to do 1% for
The slider.
invitations.
Move the slider around.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. 1% on invitations and 1% on bar.
Right.
I don't know. Okay, venue and catering and photo. Okay, photo and video, entertainment. What did she like with photo, video, entertainment wise? Tell us about that.
See, I'm thinking, golly,
Percentages wise.
This is wild.
Not numbers, just percentages. Makes it easier. Priorities.
I don't know, I think the venue's a big deal.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna go-
30% is
I'm-
good. for that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
And this is usually in the point where I would say, Angel.
So how many guests are you
Handle this.
expecting?
There you go.
So how
Angel.
many guests?
There we go.
So how many
Come on.
guests are we thinking?
I'm gonna say that nice round number where we
150?
are 150.
Okay,
That's
so-
a
You give him that
solid
calculator
number.
I'm gonna
out
get the
now.
calculator out, and I'm going to see. Okay, we can adjust this a little bit.
Catering to.
Did we put the
Okay.
the planner on Mac's slide there? Did we do that? Because that's the big deal.
So we had you budgeted 15%, which is 6,000, but you would actually pay around 4,500 estimated on the actual. So we could, yeah, like you said, adjust that down to what, 12%?
12.
Okay.
So that was close. That's good.
Okay.
Okay.
So then you have 3% more that you could use in other areas right now.
Now, my daughter would really like the photographer and the videographer to be
Major.
a little more top notch than probably I'm gonna go than maybe the food would be.
Okay, so you could even go slightly more. 6,800 would be a great budget for both.
It would be a good budget for both. Let's
That's what you're
see.
sitting at. 6,800 for that. You could still always go up with that, but
Yes. It's right here.
It's bonkers.
I would go down to 2% on hair and makeup
okay.
because most brides only pay for their hair and makeup, and the bridesmaids pay for their own. Where are we at now? See, we could probably even go a little
Yeah,
lower
we
than
can
that.
still get 3% if we want on
hair,
cakes.
no, hair and makeup. Go down to 1% because
1%.
it's going to be yeah.
She don't care about looking good.
Okay,
either.
no.
She's a beautiful girl. She don't need a
So
lot of
about
help.
There you
that's
go.
about average.
We set you up good for that one.
That's about average for hair and makeup for a bride.
Okay.
So that's a good because most couples they don't pay for the bridal party's hair and makeup. So that's good. So we've got that down.
So you're looking at 12,000 for venue right now. Catering's at 4,800, which in actuality might be 4,500, but you might want to keep it at 4,800, an extra 300.
Extra 300.
Photo and video is a higher. Photo and video is right under your venue right now for your priority, and it's 6,800.
I'm a big deal on that. I think that is a big.
do
That's a
too.
big part. That's
Agreed.
one of the very few things that you carry with you.
I said the same
forever.
thing ever.
And I'm in the business.
Yes.
I honestly, what you guys do as videographers and then photographers and everything, to me, that's the day. Like,
Yeah.
because it's documented and
Right,
it's
right.
it's done so well now. The product that you videographers are putting out, and it's just amazing. Like some of the, like you may send me some footage if you've done us. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, and I see these videos and it's just amazing. So I think that because you in the hustle and bustle of the day, that people don't understand how fast it moves.
Right.
Yes.
And what a blur it is.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, you wake up on Sunday and you're rushing off to a honeymoon or
Yep.
whatever you got going on and you go, oh my gosh, yesterday was a blur.
Yes.
And then when you get those photos, when you get the photography, when you look at the photo booth files or whatever it is, you're like, I remember that now.
Right,
oh my
right,
gosh,
right,
you know.
right.
And so to me, that's going to be the biggest part of the day.
Agreed.
That's good. I love it. Well, you got 6,800 allotted, which should get you pretty good package with photo video, don't you think?
I do.
Okay. At least in this area in Alabama.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay, planner and coordinator. Right now, that's 8% priority, and that leaves you with 3,200. Is that going to get you good planning, Angel?
Ooh, she's.
I mean, yes and no. I mean,
She's squirming in her seat now.
That's okay. I mean,
I
get that.
mean,
and that's what.
so
that's what we're
the
here for.
average.
Well, you do have 4% more to
the average
to bump you up.
coordinator that kind of runs weddings like I do is 3,500 to 4,000, and that's the planning part too. Like we talked about earlier, you're getting. We're going to help you book all your vendors. We're going to be with you the whole time. No, I'm not going to send out your invitations for you. I'm not going to design your invitations, but we're going to do those other things. So that average right now is really 3,500 to 4,000.
Right.
So it's not too far off.
Okay, so instead of 8%, maybe 9%.
Do 9.
Now florals are at 3,200.
You're way off there.
Okay, so what percentage does that need to be at?
See,
I mean-
to me,
Tell us.
to me, this part right here depends on the venue.
It
Like
does.
if we started throwing venues out, some need more florals than others.
True.
So, and that's just my personal experience. So I don't know where I'm going to be with that.
You're
You know,
right.
If I'm calling it out right now.
You're
Right.
right.
If we start saying different venues, I might could say, well, they may need a little more florals there, or they may not, or whatever. It depends on a lot of things. So
But
there's
you think
some
that's
factors
still
in
wildly under, though, right? 3,200.
God, I hear it. I hear it from florists.
Let's just say 9% for you, man, for y'all, so that at least get 3,600. But still, that's not too much. I don't know. You're getting cold in here too. Okay, your entertainment. Are you going to be just doing some DIY stuff, bringing your stuff, playing some stuff? And
I would
actuality,
personally not like to, but
Okay.
But
would you bring your setup and let someone else just run it all?
I mean,
like one of your guys.
my guys might can handle it. I don't know. That's
a
up to
hard
her,
that's
you
a
know?
hard day too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I will do the florals for my boys' weddings. There's no a way around that. But I don't want to run the day.
Yeah.
I will hire somebody to run the day.
You know,
Yeah.
I wanna be mom.
I've actually seen this. I saw a guy hire another, DJ to come play his wedding, whatever, and that would be a wild pressure. I don't think I would ever want. I'm just telling you,
Yeah, yeah.
but, so I don't want it. We've already talked about this. Like, I want to go. This be her day.
Yes.
Right.
I don't want to be worked up about it.
No.
Right.
I just want to be sure it's perfect for her.
Yes.
I don't want to be worked up about this.
You have a $2,800 budget. Would you lower that, knowing what you know and what you do?
Absolutely not. He's not going to
I
lower
don't
that
think
at all.
I can.
You'd leave it at 2,800.
I think so. I
Okay.
think if you're going in this world, God, I don't know what you charge. I don't know what
No,
you
that's
charge.
okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I think if we're going to go reputable, if I'm going to try to do everything as first class as I can within my budget,
Right.
then I think we're going to have to stay at least there.
Love it, man. Love it.
But don't you see already how we're like, you think $40,000, there's no
we've gotta
way
be touching
I can blow through it. And here we are already. I mean, we're there. Isn't that not
Yeah.
insane?
We're almost there. We still got 2% more that we could add to. But yeah, that is insane. Your the dress and maybe tuxedo or suits rentals or what? I guess rentals goes under your tux, or maybe I don't know.
That's
what that-
probably
different rental.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Right now it's 5%. It's $2,000. Now I know people can spend $2,000 on a dress alone
easily.
But is that realistic? $2,000 for a dress and
Just
tuxedo?
depends on the bride. They'll pay for her dress, and the groom would pay for his own attire.
Right. Okay.
So I mean, there's dresses out there for $2,000 all day long. It just depends on what the bride wants.
okay. So 2,000 might be fine.
Yeah,
It could be fun.
yeah, it could be.
Okay. All right. Hair and makeup. You said 400 might be fine.
Yes.
Cake and desserts 800.
I'm not huge on this.
Okay, so 1%.
I'm not. And,
Little lower.
it's just at that point.
I'm going to agree with you on that.
I don't
So many
know.
brides aren't. They're
$400.
not.
I think
fine.
I'm seeing the trend of just smaller stuff going on.
You are right.
I've seen cakes and wild stuff, know.
But a lot of
Can
the
you get a
brides,
good cake for 400
you
bucks?
can.
Oh.
Now, I mean, so this is a big trend right
That's
now.
good.
Smaller cakes. I mean, some of them, the brides are even doing faux cakes.
Okay.
And
yeah,
they're
I've
just cutting, and then we're cutting sheet cakes in the back. I mean, a lot of brides, the very last thing on their like priority list is cake. I just don't care about it. We don't care for cake. Get it as cheap as possible. My mom just wants it for pictures.
That we're not here to talk about the trend there, but I could see that slowly dwindling.
Yeah.
Just in my mind when I see
Yep.
it, it's just not. It's a wild formality that
Yes.
almost doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
Yes.
Right.
Agreed.
Okay, your invitations, you have 400 bucks budget for that. But don't you have a printing business?
I work closely with a printer, yeah.
So you might not
that might
need
could
that.
help. I'm not sure.
I mean,
but I mean, it goes
might
into
go
that.
0%.
I mean, if this in this world, I mean, if we're doing the buddy thing, I know everybody does everything.
All right,
Exactly,
right,
exactly.
But
right,
it's
right.
not. We all know that's not the way that works.
Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
not real sure.
Your rentals, are you gonna do a getaway car, or just gonna do like a family car or something sentimental, or just her own car?
I bet we like I said, I'm not sure where we would be, but I mean, if it was
Yeah.
today, we'd probably do something cool.
600.
Okay.
You can get a
Yeah.
rent a car for about 600.
But would you need to do more rentals though? Are you gonna do other rentals besides a car?
I mean, you could do photo booth. I mean, it's endless.
There's so many
endless,
things here
yes.
that I don't know, and then even when we're asking this, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
what do you think? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So rentals, you have 800 bucks, but you might spend close to that just on a getaway car
Yeah.
if you do something really fancy.
Yep.
So we'll just leave that 2%. Bar, you have 800 bucks. Is that enough for a bar? Okay,
That's
it's
not. I mean, honestly, that's that. At this point, for my
No.
daughter and them, It doesn't necessarily matter. That doesn't matter to me. That could be something
little
that we could pick
closer.
up.
a little closer. Okay, now we get you at 1,200, 3% to maybe get something suitable.
So average bartender is about $400 for two bartenders. and your alcohol runs between 800 and 1,000 for the amount of guests you're having. So you're not
Some
too far off.
venues do upcharge whenever there's alcohol, right?
And they're
No, it's you have to have security, which is not on there,
okay.
which is about $250, $300.
yeah, some venues
Okay.
are what is it, ABC board certified and stuff, and they have
I only know
there's a
of
formula that they
one,
use per
yeah.
guest, and it's a
Got
thing.
you.
Yeah.
They have that
I
down.
just don't know what that is, but it's a thing. I know
Yes,
that,
it is.
that they run into. They
Okay.
control it a little bit better than just
Okay.
throwing things out and doing whatever. So
Is there anything we're missing, Angel, Chad? Anything in this category?
Security will have to be on there.
Security, or can we just do bar plus security
Yep.
since it's because of that?
Yep.
Okay.
So your percent would need to go up a little bit, maybe
Okay.
4%. There
So
you go.
you're spending more on your bar and security than you are on your rentals, invitations, cake, hair, and makeup.
well, and that's just because we don't know what rentals we're using.
Well, hair
That's
and
gonna
makeup
grow.
is that's very average for a bride to pay that's just for her hair and makeup. That's a very good price.
okay.
Cake's not that important, so that's a good price. You got a good buffer there.
Buffer is $800. You have an $800.
So you get a buffer. The only thing that I would see that, just as a florist and a planner, and working with other florists, is your florals. That's really unrealistic for what you are for amount of guests. I mean, I don't know her friends, but just say she has 6 bridesmaids. He has
Right.
6 groomsmen. Just right there, you're at $1,200.
Sure.
Just their flowers.
Sure.
And then you've got to decorate tables, centerpieces down the aisle, an arbor, a cross. It can all add up really quick.
Sure.
Where are we at now?
Well, I did adjust it, but then we were now we're at 100%. It was 4,000. That's not enough to get you what you want, is it?
I mean, we would just have to work,
Just to, move things around.
See, that's what she does. We'll just work it out.
We'll just work
That's
it out. That's what
does,
she
more than
does.
Maybe some people do. She's like, we'll make it work.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a true story.
Okay, so that's your budget plan. That's a good plan. You can always ebb and flow. So you got, I need to revise, now that I'm thinking this through, I need to revise the formula to where the percentage, whatever's the highest percentage needs to be at the top. And whatever's lower, I just need to program it to be like, because right now it's not prioritizing what's what, it's staying where it is, but I would like it to see what's first. Anyway,
I
side
like
note.
that. I like that.
I'll work on that. But okay, your venue, you have $12,000 to spend. Knowing what we know about venues, which is $6,000 to $12,000 on average, but can go up more. What do you think? What do you say? Will you spend $12,000? Will they book 10,000? How many guests? You said 150?
I said 150.
150?
That gives me an average of where we are.
Is that pushing it,
almost weekly.
or is that good? Could you do one for 10K?
I could. I mean,
Okay.
it depends on what venue she would want, but I mean,
Right.
I know several venues that we could do it for 10,000.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't really know what things cost. I'm learning right now.
Right.
I'm going to school right now.
Yeah. Is there other fees with venues, or is it if they quote you $11,000, is it going to be like $11,800 at the end of it, or is it actually going to be $11,000?
Well, it depends on if you add. Some venues have rental fees. So final walkthrough, you go
Cleanup fee,
in and
table,
you're like,
chairs.
oh, I want to rent the barrels and I want to rent this and I want to rent that. So in final walkthrough, when we do all of that, the price could go up. Or you could get a venue that everything's already included, your cloths, your barrels, your tables, everything, and that's that. So that's another point about having a planner.
Yeah.
So many times brides, they book the venue first, and if I'm not last, I'm second or third, and then they're like, well, that's not what I was told at the final walkthrough. Well, I wasn't there, so I don't know that. What does your contract say? Because that's what we have to go by, is what the
Yes.
contract says. It doesn't matter what you were promised
Yes.
by the person managing the venue
Yes.
at that time.
So let's just say you're going to spend $11,000. Let's just say you're going to book a thing that's $10,000. It's going to be $11,000, but you budgeted $12,000, so therefore you had $1,000 left over. Catering, you're probably going to spend $4,500, so you're going to have $300 left over. Photo and video, let's say you use all that $600 to $800 because I want to see you use that. For planning and coordinating, $3,600. You might spend more than that.
Do 35.
Okay, $35.
Give him a 35.
Okay, florals and decor, all of $4,000.
Every penny.
Every penny. You're gonna be getting a good deal if you get that for that.
Yeah, clearly.
Entertainment, all of $2,800 probably,
Yes.
Easily.
Attire and dress, all of $2,000
Yes.
probably. Hair and makeup, $400 probably. Cake and dessert, $400 is pretty small. 0 for invitations and paper. miscellaneous. We'll just keep it as if you're going to spend 800. Rentals, we'll say 600 because a cool car is about 500 or 600. Bar and security, 1,500.
Yeah.
Okay, so then after that, you do have 1,700 left over. It does say. So you did pretty
Well,
good.
that 1,700 needs to go into the rainy day wedding tent fund that I've seen you use.
Yeah, and then some.
Unbelievable, things that can happen that day that you need some extra
Absolutely.
change for.
Absolutely.
So
and tips if you feel generous and want to tip
hey,
anyone.
that is we can talk about that. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't know and understand that world, so I'm not sure about
I'm a
that.
planner, and I don't know and understand that world.
It's wildly inconsistent.
Yes,
and
yes.
Sometimes there's not a lot of merit to it, and
You do not have to
sometimes-
tip your vendors unless you really want. If you do tip your vendors, tip your planner. If anyone else, tip them really good. Anyone who's invested a ton of time with you individually over and over again. Wow. Yeah. Tip your planner if anyone else. I mean, I get tipped sometimes. I don't get tipped most of the time. Maybe Chad does because
No, it's. I mean, just a few times a year, and there's sometimes you do it,
Right.
and sometimes I'm walking out and they hand me something. I'm like, wow, you guys don't have to do that. I mean, I don't know what the etiquette is there.
There's no
but-
etiquette
Right, there's no
again.
etiquette.
Like we
Yeah.
talked about earlier,
Yeah.
it takes a village. There's no etiquette. Even with tipping, I have brides' moms ask me all the time, there's no etiquette.
Sure.
Right.
It's just what you want to do.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And that's just,
You do not have to tip, and we're already charging what we do so we compensate of everything that we're doing. If you feel like maybe you got a deal somewhere, like someone who's really overqualified and they let you know this was their price and they gave you a lot off, and you want to bless them a little bit over than what they did on their discounted price, feel free to, but you totally don't have to do that.
yes, agreed.
So I got a wedding here.
Yeah, you got a wedding here, man. I mean,
for 38 and some change. Is that where?
yes,
is that where we're at?
that's right, man.
And then I'm going to blow through that budget by 10 grand. Is that what's it? Hey, what's the normal? Like, no joke. Let's just say you had a $50,000 wedding. How much do they blow through that? Like, and go? Does it go to 60?
About 5.
55, or about 5? That makes sense. It just gets away
It does.
quickly.
Quickly.
It does really quickly.
Very quickly. Well, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the inside. I've enjoyed talking with you guys. This has
I've
been
enjoyed
fun.
it also. It has been a lot of fun.
Just so
We,
good.
we didn't quite stay on subject.
I know,
there.
we didn't
You got a lot
quite.
to sift through, bro.
I know, for real. I'm going to link this little template. You guys can just, when you get the link, press file and then new, like from this template, because obviously we can't all edit this because then it would mess up my template. So copy this template, save it in your own Google Drive. Hopefully it's beneficial for y'all, maybe for you as a wedding planner. Let me
Absolutely.
know if it's cool. I never thought about this because I never had to. I mean, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Chad Ellis with Ellis Entertainment, 15 years DJing. He's a coach. You're man of many talents. Kids,
try.
wife, and you live in, where do you live,
Southside.
man?
We
You
live
live in
in Southside.
Southside.
Right.
Okay, man. And we're recording right now in good old Raglan, Alabama, in the middle of nowhere, Alabama.
Nowhere.
No,
Perfectly fitting. For weddings here.
exactly. We need
Perfectly
more-
wedding.
And then we have Angel Phillips. So, Angel, thank you for sharing your wonderful information of
And lots of fun.
planning and coordinating and budgets. Budgets are hard, guys. I know money can be, it's hard. It's hard to prioritize. And whether you think you had a lot of money with 30,000, it can quickly go. And like we saw with your budget there, Chad, of 40,000, we used every bit of it.
Yeah, I think I
And,
started
you
with
know,
20.
I did. 40.
crazy. And if you do only have 20, you just have to cut some things. Like we didn't have bar at all. Like we didn't have alcohol. And so there we go. It saved us $1,000 or $2,000 right there and different things like that. Catering was a little cheaper. Anyway, okay, we've talked way too long. So thank y'all for being a part. And if you want to tour any of some of these venues around Birmingham and East of Alabama, definitely check out some past videos of different venues that we've all been to. A lot of us have been. I think we've been to every single
Every
one that's
one
on
that
the
you've done. I
think
yeah,
so.
so far. So especially ones just it's Coleman, Birmingham, Hoover, Oxford, Anniston area, Rainbow City, Ohatchee,
Talladega.
Talladega. Yeah, I think that covers most Mumford, which is basically Talladega.
Yep.
Yeah, so definitely go check that out. Hopefully it's helpful, and we'll see you guys on the next video.